McDonald's made me 3 times more productive in my work, and I'm going to show you how. Let's go. Ever wonder why companies like McDonald's or Tesla, Starbucks do so well and their founders are so efficient? In one day we achieve this much, but they can achieve this much. McDonald's is the #1 restaurant in the world because of its systems. So it got me thinking, what if we worked like McDonald's? What could we achieve? So I got to work and found 5 systems that McDonald's likely uses to make really good food fast. When I realized I could use these 5 systems to help boost my productivity, my life has changed. Best of all, these 5 systems help me achieve more by doing less. These ideas I learned from this book combined with this book. If they had a baby, it'd be this video. So let me guide you through 5 steps of workflow that good companies have. And no, the answer is not just batching, which is actually very important. You wouldn't fry 1 chip at a time, you'd fry multiple at the same time. So how do we model our workflow like McDonald's? Step 1 is preparation, and it's often the most important. Imagine you open a McDonald's in the morning. You notice 4 customers are waiting for their breakfast. So you go and try to make their meal, but damn, the burgers are frozen, the veggies aren't cut up. So then you take the frozen meat, put it out to defrost a little, start cutting some veggies. No meal is being made, the customers are still waiting. It's a total mess, the customers are angry, you're stressed and angry. This is exactly what happens whenever we try to do something without preparation. Here's the important part, the preparation has to be done at least the night before, if not a couple days earlier. You know that feeling when you're trying to get something done at your desk and after a couple of hours you just get this done, the title? You get what we call writer's block, and it's just because you haven't prepared. You can't do anything when the meat's still frozen. So how should we prepare? Don't make it too complicated, just say to yourself, I'm going to start reading, saving some articles. I'm going to start saving all the links, copy paste all the important quotes. Then you can brain dump all the ideas on a piece of paper and mind map. The important thing to do now is to get up and go something else or go to bed. Otherwise you'd be trying to force a crappy result onto a page when you really haven't had time to think or process all the knowledge and articles that you read. I'm also throwing in a really important bonus tip, so make sure you watch till the end. As soon as you finish preparation comes incubation. So when a chef puts the fries in the oil, they aren't just standing there doing nothing. The fries are cooking. There's production happening while they're doing other things. This process of cooking I link to the process called incubation, the second step. Let's say you start reading some articles. You haven't really written down anything, but that information is now in your head, and in a sense cooking or incubating in your mind when you sleep, walk, eat, etc. It's passive problem solving. This study was pretty cool and it proved it. Participants in the study had unsolved problems. They found that people with difficult problems who slept on it could solve the problem faster than if you stayed awake or worked on the unsolved problem immediately. This is because of the power of your subconscious mind, turning the problem over and over again in your mind even when you sleep. So that saying when you've got a problem to sleep on it is actually true, like it actually works. Obviously this is for creative or difficult problems. It's not for something simple like doing your taxes. Like, I don't want to see any of you comment in the section below saying you went to jail because you didn't pay your taxes because you were incubating or preparing. So instead of dedicating a 3-hour block to work and then end up only writing 1 paragraph, try incubating and preparing the day before so that you can actually write way more on the day. The third step is illumination. Illumination is that epiphany or aha moment, or people say eureka moment.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
And can only usually happen after incubation. I would equate this illumination to the Big Mac sauce or the secret herbs and spices from KFC. Without these illuminating discoveries by His Majesty, KFC just wouldn't be KFC. Newton didn't think about gravity just when the apple hit his head, but he probably had some incubation and preparation beforehand. Ruth Handler didn't just make Barbie dolls when she saw a figurine of a woman in the shop, but likely because earlier she noticed her daughter made some grown-up paper figurines of dolls and was probably thinking of a way to make her paper dolls less hideous. I'm sure you would have experienced this once in your life where you had a key moment of illumination and then all obstacles just kind of melt out of the way and you can just focus on your work, undistracted, motivation comes really easy to you. This is why illumination is really good for productivity. The 4th step is generation, and this is where the bulk of our work comes in. So with McDonald's, once the meat patties are defrosted, the fries are incubated, the epiphany of the Big Mac sauce comes to your mind. This is when you start the 4th step, the generation of the burger. That was McDonald's, but for our workflow, generation is when we're generating our draft. I do the draft script, you might do the draft essay, draft assignment. What I notice is that we have an ideal window for generation. Experiment to try to find your best and ideal time for generation. For me, it's in the mornings when I have the least amount of distractions and when I feel most awake. When your creative mind isn't held back from the worries from the news, text messages, and emails, and from people who haven't woken up yet. Generation is best done after illumination, but don't worry if it doesn't come to you yet. It doesn't come to everyone at the specific time that you want it to. It just comes randomly, okay? So you can just start generating without illumination, but whether you have illumination or not, it still can be done. So just keep working on it. The fifth and final step is the most important, and it's what I call editing. When Macca's is wrapping up your burger, putting the meal together, making sure there isn't any hairs or flies in the drink, etc. That's called editing or refinement, whatever. It's pretty straightforward. The last step of editing is when we try to edit our videos, we fix our grammar, we make our pictures look pretty, put it in the right places and all that. And for all of you who made it to the end, here's the bonus tip. But before we go on to the bonus tip, please like and subscribe. Since you made it to the end, you must like the video, so just press like, Okay, so the last bonus tip is make sure you do everything in the right order. This is why revision is the last step. Don't switch from generation to revision, preparation, generation, revision. It just doesn't make sense. For example, when we're writing that draft and you notice there's grammar mistakes and all that stuff, just leave it. Just keep writing. If you go back to it, it will ruin the flow of your thoughts. It will ruin everything. If you're trying to write your draft and you're trying to put photos and formatting the margins and all that stuff, it just distracts you from getting that draft done. For McDonald's, revision is when they're wrapping up the burger. But imagine if McDonald's did what you and I used to do. They mix up revision with generation. It will look something like this. They'll half make and generate the burger, wrap it up, revision, unwrap it, generate the burger again, wrap it again, unwrap it, put more things in, wrap it again. It's so inefficient, and that's what you and I do when we mix those two steps up. So we have to make the draft first. Don't worry about the grammar, don't worry about the pictures and the margins, the title and making it look pretty. Just focused on the draft. It grinds my gears when people do this, and I do this, so I grind my own gears. Same can be said for mixing the preparation and the generation stage. If you're writing something and then go and switch tabs to look for articles and papers to prepare, and then switch back and forth between looking up information, writing, looking up information, you're just gonna get more tired and end up distracted and going down different spirals of links. By the end of it, you've done half of what you wish to do. Remember, respect the system and the order, and you can become a generation machine. So I try to look for an app that helps you focus on one thing at a time, and there wasn't really a lot out there, so my brother and I made our own. Check out the link in the description below. This app is available on both phones and on desktop, and it can sync across them as well. Because you guys are special and watched all the way to the end, leave your email in the Google form below, and we can give you 6 months free. Hope you guys found this video useful. Leave your comments below about any questions you have or any suggestions for future content, or maybe even if you guys have any tips you want to share to the community about productivity, about improving your life in general, then comment below and subscribe. See you in the next one.